Good afternoon everyone, it's King Shinji, or as some of you know me, Roland. Today I want to show you and talk a little bit about an interesting record I picked up a bit ago. As I mentioned in my last final record video, I've started to get into more video game records, and I've picked up a few more releases, including the Minecraft Alpha soundtrack, which I might make a separate video on. Today, I'll be talking about the original soundtrack for a quaint little indie bartending game called Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Valhalla is a bartender simulation game with Japanese visual novel elements. It was developed by Sukeban Games, a studio based out of Venezuela. Development on the game initially started in 2014 as part of the Cyberpunk Game Jam, but evolved into a full-fledged game, which would be published on June 21st, 2016. The game takes place in a dystopian future where Japan has conquered the world through technological dominance. Augmented humans, androids, and even dogs are common bar regulars at Valhalla. The divide between the elite wealthy and the impoverished breeds violence and unrest within the city, leading to an ever-present tension just beyond the walls of the bar. You play as Jill, a young female bartender working at Valhalla, whose main goal is to pay her rent for that month. The game involves talking with various customers and serving up drinks based off their request. Music plays a very important role in the game, and it has gameplay elements centered around it. At the beginning of each day in Valhalla, you pick from 10 different songs to play on the jukebox. These songs play throughout your duration of the bartending that day. You unlock additional songs through gameplay, such as reaching specific endings or dialogue options. The soundtrack was composed by Michael Kelly, also known by his moniker of Garode. The Valhalla soundtrack draws from a lot of inspirations, including but not limited to the sounds of JRPGs, synthwave, vaporwave, and anime. Kelly blends together a fusion of rock and roll, jazz, and synthwave to form the basis for many of the high-energy tracks, which he attributes inspiration from the likes of Shoji Meguro, whose musical work can be heard through the acclaimed Persona series. The heavily Japanese-inspired soundtrack, crafted by Michael Kelly, proved to be the perfect fit for the anime-inspired game, which heavily drew from Japanese visual novels. In an interview with Whimsically Theoretical, Kelly described the trouble of getting his music recognized in the States due to his style of sound. So getting to craft the soundtrack for the cyberpunk and anime-inspired Valhalla was like a dream come true, Kelly stated. The soundtrack for Valhalla provides the listener with a variety of moods and soundscapes to bask in while serving up alcoholic beverages to unique and interesting patrons. Some tracks take on energetic and jazzy tones, such as Every Day is Night, Drive Me Wild, and Through the Storm We Will Find a Way. On the flip side, the soundtrack has no shortage of moody, somber tracks, like Where Do I Go From Here, A Star Pierces the Darkness, and A Neon Glow Lights the Way. The retro synthetic sound and jazz elements serve to immerse the player into really feeling like they are working in a tucked-away bar in a tumultuous, futuristic city. The moods of the music are varied, but one theme is near constant, and it's the creeping feeling of isolation. But a twinkle of hope and encouragement lingers on in the horizon. The more somber synthetic sounds seem to lament the feeling of loneliness in the big city that the protagonist might feel, whereas the smashing drums and screaming guitars and brass encourage the listener and cheer them on. Valhalla's synth-drenched music is full of emotion and finds strong footing in its ability to capture a mood or feeling, which serves to further immerse the player into the world of Valhalla. Alright, so let's get into the actual vinyl record portion of the video. What I have here in front of me is the box set collection, which contains 5 records in order to facilitate the full soundtrack. The box set clocked in at a cool $115 US for the pre-order, not including shipping. Black Screen Records, an indie label that specializes in video game soundtracks, put out this set and made it available for pre-order around late June of 2021. I bought this particular copy through Light in the Attic, an online vinyl record retailer which received a batch through Black Screen Records. The box itself, which contains the records, looks and feels awesome. The clean, solid, white design with the holographic logo makes this piece really stand out in a collection. I only wish the logo itself was just a bit bigger. The high-tech ancillary art on the box also provides a nice detail and gives us a hint as to what lies within. The 5 records fit snugly inside the solid box sleeve, but it's not too difficult to get them out. Each of the 5 record sleeves has its own unique cover art featuring iconic characters from the game. Elements such as unique art for each sleeve are what make this box set really incredible and show the level of care that went into designing this set. Additionally, a small poster is included inside. Each of these records is a 33 RPM standard pressing. What's really amazing about this set once again is the fact that each of these records is unique in its coloration. So if you're big into colored vinyl, you'll really love this collection. There's just something so satisfying about putting on a new looking record for each section of the album during a full listen. Black Screen Records put together a fantastically designed collection for this well-loved video game soundtrack that is thematically fitting and pays homage to the beloved characters of Valhalla. If you are a fan of JRPG music or Japanese-inspired jazz rock fusion, you are certain to find enjoyment in this soundtrack. Though most importantly, you will likely find the most enjoyment and appreciation by playing Valhalla and discovering each of the wonderfully crafted tracks and experiencing them along with the delicious art and intriguing writing that Valhalla offers. You can pick up the game for around $15 on Steam, so I would highly recommend experiencing the soundtrack this way, and even if you aren't a fan of anime-inspired projects, I think you will still find a lot of enjoyment and humor from the game. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. I make these videos as a way of sharing my passion for music, and I'm always trying to improve my craft, so your feedback and support is always greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and feel free to drop a comment. As always, thank you for watching.